I'm right. So I agree with Jess. I think the pandemic was a pretty wild experience. I guess we're kind of on the tail end, or we're getting close to the tail end. A lot of things that were one way when the pandemic started are not that way anymore. My favorite of which is legal weed, right? I believe weed was illegal when the pandemic started, and now it is not, which is great. If you didn't believe it already, just look at the number of shops that have popped up, right? They're absolutely everywhere. Which makes me question why there are apps like Weed Maps, which helps you find the weed store closest to you. I think literally if you were dropped in any city with a blindfold on, you start walking randomly into stores, you'll be in a weed store like right away. But it's funny because a lot of my friends are smoking weed now for the first time, right? And I've got, some experience. And they've got all these new tools that I don't remember when I was younger. Like people are smoking into weird like cellophane bags where it can be compressed into your lungs, and everyone's got these special pens. And it's great. I mean, they're trying to explain to me while we're high the difference between vapor and smoke, which is not a distinction I had to know previously. To me, though, it's a little strange. To me, smoking weed is, you have a joint, you're outside, you're with your friends. That's kind of the way to do it. I don't remember Bob Marley saying, "Yeah, man, gather around the electric weed pen to get high." I don't remember him saying that. But it's fine. I a little bit miss buying weed illegally. That was the one sort of illegal activity I kind of had like a skill in, and I don't do that anymore. Except during the pandemic, my wife has been buying a lot of stuff off Facebook Marketplace, right? Used things. So, the wives set it up, and it's just two husbands meeting randomly in a parking lot. So we get to use all my old weed skills, It'll be like Buzzy Brown's parking lot, it's pitch black, I see a guy, maybe a figure of a dude in the dark standing near his minivan, see like a cigarette light out and over. I'm like, you got the Paw Patrol for me? He's got a garbage bag, it's either got drugs in it or a truck. He's like, "You're John?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "You got the money?" I'm like, "I think my wife e-transferred me." I think so too. Who knew when Facebook came out when we were in university that eventually you'd be sitting on your phone using Facebook to buy used toys and sending your husband out together? This is the world we live in, right? So yeah, smoking weed my whole life, I guess. I remember when you were young and you'd smoke and you'd go snowboarding. That was fun. That's when the word sick kind of became, it's double meaning, not just for being infirmed, but you can actually feel sick. And I always thought it was weird, the old people hated on it, they're always like, "You can't do that. You can't, sick has a meaning, you can't just take it." But then those same old people would turn around and be like, "Mabel makes a fucking mean egg salad." That word already has a meaning, you can't just, hypocritical old people, right? Or as I call them, HOP. I love acronyms, I love to shorten everything. But you can get in trouble with acronyms, you can save time, but you can also get in trouble, you can misunderstand things. PMS, that's a common acronym, we all know, right? What does it stand for?
Premenstrual syndrome.
Pre-made salad, that's what I thought. For years. Imagine me in grade 7, I'm like, girls are getting these salads. They don't seem happy. Is it not made right? I don't know. Some of them seem relieved, so something's going on with these salads. ASAP, that's another common acronym, but it's weird that one, which means like do things quickly as soon as possible, is a 4-letter acronym, right? It should be shortened to QAP, quick as possible. QAP, you can use it in a sentence. I need that report, QAP. Anyway, the pandemic is in the rearview mirror. I looked in my drawer the other day, I saw my old fabric mask. I think there's enough of my DNA in there to clone me. I'm not using it anymore. So, I did a lot of working from home during the pandemic, that was fine. I was sitting in my living room alone, and I saw an article from Sudbury.com said, "The police are asking for assistance to find a wanted criminal." I looked around my living room and not there. Not much more I can do. There are lots of perks from working from home, one of which is, you can shower in the middle of the day. I don't like showering when I wake up, I shower in the middle of the day. I was reviewing the back of the shower bottle, right, for something to do when I was in there. And there's the instructions, the shampoo instructions, which we all know and are familiar with, right? What are they? Lather, rinse, repeat. I repeat. What is that? What other product do you need to immediately finish doing and follow up by doing it again? It doesn't make any sense. I think they did it just to double their sales. Imagine getting an oil change, and when you finish, they say, "Okay, Mr. Johnson, you're all done. Just we'll lift the garage door. You pull on out, wrap around, come back in. I've got an oil change for you then." Doesn't really make sense. I was talking to some guys the other day, they were trying to talk about the vaccine, getting the vaccine, and if their bodies have changed at all, which I'm thinking in my mind, I'm scoffing. But then I thought, has my body undergone any changes in the last 2.5 years? And I realized it has. I got a new, unrequested, a new sexual fetish just entered my mind. And I don't get it, I'm 36, like where did it come from, So I'm wondering, was it the vaccine, Anyway, I don't look at female armpits the same. It's just but that's unscientific, right? That could just be anecdotal. That could just be my personal situation. So, if you developed a new sexual fetish of any kind during the pandemic, raise your hands. Just one. That was just my attempt to see some armpits, but. So during the pandemic, we stopped traveling overseas and stuff, just did more local travel. Driving around town, around the north, one thing I noticed, trampolines, every yard you look in, you see a giant trampoline. I remember that from when I was a kid, Slight difference though, they all seem to have these giant nets, these protective nets. I don't remember protective nets. Did anyone here grow up with protective nets? No? So clearly something happened. Kids were busting their neighbors, they were flying off, they were landing on their neighbors' fences, right? I'm all for protecting kids, I'm glad there's the nets, but I feel like our generation participated in some type of product development unknowingly, right? You think this is a comedy night, this is a survivors group from Nautilus Trampoline Childhoods, right? Anyway, another thing we did a lot during the pandemic was we went to parks. So I'm in the park with my son, and he's 3, and so he's like, "Papa, do you know how to skip?" So I guess he just learned what skipping is. So I'm like, "Yeah, I know how to skip." So he started skipping, and I realized I haven't skipped in 20 years. And it made me feel wonderful. I'm flying along, and I'm like, why don't adults skip? Like, you got walk, you got run, and I'm just like, no, we don't need a third option. We've completely abandoned a completely, effective form of human bipedal locomotion. Why? It's too fruity. That's the explanation, it's just too fruity. And I don't think we've truly arrived at an equal society until every person can skip for the Olympics. If you're not allowed to wear a business suit and with your briefcase just fucking skip into your next meeting, then we've not gotten there. Those are all my prepared jokes. So I'll end it there. Thanks very much, everybody. And yeah, that's it.